Yes, I have a special guest here. I think he's not. He has become a family to High Backstage. Please welcome Aratokun-Femi Aratokun-Ale.
That's correct. Yeah. Good morning.
You're now our in-laws. Let's get you.
He is a friend of the house.
He's a friend of the house.
Yeah. Okay. Call in-law, call friend of the house, call everything, husband, wife.
It's great to have you, back again.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And let me say good morning, Nigerians, and good morning, everyone watching from everywhere all over the world today.
Mm-hmm. You know, when Olumide talked about arming yourself with pepper spray, I saw you laughing.
Do we have that in Nigeria? Do people use that in Nigeria? I know abroad they have that, but in Nigeria, pepper spray.
Well, basically, let me start. You see, I'll tell you why this topic seems a bit funny to me, because I think for the very first time in Nigeria, this is the first time I'm actually having a program like this that's got to do with personal protection and situational awareness, which I personally, that's why I've been trained in how to protect vulnerable people and VIPs and the elites. Even in UK, I actually, I was part of the team for the former Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, in UK. So I know the whole strategy, the in, day in, day out, how things are actually done. And this is one of the key things I've actually been doing in Nigeria, which I've equally produced a whole number of team security personnel who are equally, protecting vulnerable people and VIPs in Nigeria today. So it is not just all about the pepper spray. It's understanding what is personal protection. That is what the thing is. However, there's a twist to it. We're calling people to come and protect us. But the question is this: how well protected are they before they can protect us? A typical example, if you go to the police yard or police station today, you request for police officers that you need protection for your VIP coming from abroad, or you want to go somewhere within the country, you need police protection. But they themselves, do they have the protection, the right protection, before they can protect you? So before you think of protecting any elite or vulnerable people, you that want to protect someone must have the right equipment all surrounding you to protect the people you want to protect. To protect yourself before you can protect people. Remember, once the person protecting people or protecting someone is down, obviously you're left on your own. So where's the protection? So one key thing, our security architecture should get right. NSA, Nigerian police, and all security agencies in Nigeria these days. Do we give the right protection to people protecting us?
That's another twist. That's another angle you're coming from. It's quite a different angle.
Because it's a very valid question.
Yes, it is.
If you go to the national dailies, almost every day you hear how terrorists or bandits are killing one soldier or police officer.
I've just given you the clue to it. How do we protect those protecting us? Do we provide the right tools, the right equipment? Do we give them the right understanding of training they need, the strategies, the techniques, just like you mentioned? Sadly, some of them are beginning to get it, but at what rates? Do we have politics being played around it as well again? It's another twist to it. So it's a whole lot. But don't get me wrong, creating peace in the country is expensive. Equally, providing security strategy to create that peace is as expensive as any other thing. So we provide, we give budget to all the security, how do I put it, architectural designs in Nigeria, but do we actually see it physically? Go to your police stations today around here. Look at your security domain. Go to banks, go to clubs, go to everywhere. How well protected are these guys? Do they have the right welfare? That will give them the boost, the morale to like, you know what, I need to do my job. If I tell people that, I do the same thing you do, they're like, no, organo be so. No. But security is something that you should be happy to like, yes, this is who I am. But in Nigeria, you see them, even when you call them, they're not really happy to even assist, to help, except they kind of like, they have a push, they have a boost, they have the morale to tell you that this is exactly what I want to do. And that is what they will do. Are we equally exposing them to the right technology at the moment? Is another thing. Do they even have the understanding of weapon safety? Self-defense, just like you mentioned. What are the right tools they need to have with them? Do they have the core backup support if anything should happen? Are they paid what they are meant to be paid?
Good. So commensurate remuneration is essential.
It's essential, very, very essential. If you think life is not expensive or life is cheap, try and work alone as a big man yourself or as a list or VIP you call yourself and hold the millions yourself. And you imagine how you're going to be shaking with what you have. It's your money, right? You own it, you work for it. But can you actually do everything yourself? You need protection of certain teams, certain people to work with you. For them to work with you, the question is this: are you giving them the right welfare? Remember, something just happened that somebody was killed, the house help, this, that, killed A, X, Y, Z. People are not really going down into what sort of welfare are you giving your team, your security team? I've had instances of cases, VIP will fly by jet to somewhere and they will tell their security team, come by road.
Wow.
VIP is indoor eating, having meeting, luxury meals and everything, and the next thing, oh yeah, you boys, go and eat 1,000 naira food. And you want them to protect you. With what? Let's get it straight. We're not yet there in the country. We just talk about it, but we're not acting it or walking it. We're just talking it.
So psychology comes into it as well.
Absolutely. This is why whenever I'm having my training program in Nigeria, I come up with different ideas. Practically, you can see as a state-of-the-art materials that should be used for training and how security officers should be treated as well.
You know, there's something he said, you said earlier on that you were involved in the protection of the UK's former Prime Minister.
Absolutely.
Now, this is a question I want to ask.
Yeah.
How big a role does intelligence come into play?
You see, when it comes to intelligence, it will definitely play from the start of any operations you want to go for. Because there's what you call the brief, there's what you call the brief on the job, and there's what you call the debrief after the whole operation is being, you finish your operation, something has got to come back as a feedback. That what lessons have we learned? What do we need to improve? How do we improve it? What capacity do we need to go in case something like this should happen next time? So intelligence is a key thing that will always play a part when it comes to security. It does play a part here in the country, but my own area of concern is this: are we actually playing it well? Or we just play it on the basis, on the phases of politics? Or we just put partisan or whatever we can call it, or like, man no man who knows who into it. Are we actually putting the right intelligent guys there to do this job for us? Everybody can work as police officers or DSS, but you need some experts, some ideas, perhaps maybe from the criminology students department. Bring them in, let them do their job, let them tell you how good they are and how they can actually work with you in good collaboration. All we need is peace in the country. Every day we see people dying, menace of robberies and a whole lot of things. We don't care about it. And when it comes to personal protection again, we keep missing one single soul. We keep missing a department. Those are the drivers. The drivers will drive the VIP and whoever is protecting the VIP.
The VIP.
So how well trained are the drivers? You see your VIP in an SUV fortified vehicle, and your protectors, Hilux. Who does that? I see that a lot over and I shake my head and no. If these guys are gone, I would just say to start doing frog jump. Because you've exposed them to the real threat, thinking, oh, by them in Hilux and all these funny vehicles, they are protecting you. No, it's just a joke. So drivers are key, they are essential as your VIP. The drivers are as essential as anything, like those protecting the VIPs or the team as well. So it's a teamwork. But sadly, we do not have the teamwork when it comes to protection.
Thank you so much for that. We've been talking about the VIP. Let's come down to the common man.
It is still the same thing. When we are to come down to the common man, we all go to different kind of events. We go to Owambe's, different things. Protection starts from the event planner. Do they understand what protection is at all? Do they carry the event security team with them from the start, that this is what we need? If you have a capacity of 300, 400 in Nigeria today, how many security team would you want to have? When you're choosing a team, remember, it should consist of 2 people, male and female. But you go to some events, all you see there is male. So if there's a situation there that involves a woman or a female person, how do you want a male security officer to attend to situational awareness around there? A typical situational awareness is maybe she's suffering from breathing. Now, how do you perform CPR with a woman, a man, woman in this situation? Obviously, people like, this, that. Remember, you want to do the chest compression, and you want to give the choke mouth to mouth.
Yes.
So you're putting these guys in a compromising situation. Not that they can't do it, but what's going to be people's reaction when they see videos and pictures of AXYZ? So let them understand certain situation goes a long way. The same thing happens with secondary schools, primary schools, kindergarten schools as well. What do we know? How do we help them? These gate officers around these areas, do they really understand what protection simply means in the first place? The traffic police officers, do they understand what protection simply means? Remember, we're talking about ordinary men on the street now. And the closest people to them are the last man, the Lagos State Neighborhood Safety Corps,
Yes.
the police officers, the traffic warden, and the member of the public as well. Within our community, within our streets, when we're having this end of the month meeting, what exactly are they deliberating about?
Right. Okay.
Do they actually bring up what I call security drills? That, you know what, in case we have this situation here, this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do. How do we maintain all the stuff? We all pay levels within our street, our community, for safety and all the rest.
Yes.
But exactly where are they channeling all these resources to? Is the question we need to ask.
$1 million
So
question.
supporting ourselves, supporting our community in terms of protection, situational awareness goes a long way.
It does.
The same thing with farmers and the same thing with one particular body in Nigeria that have not seen anything. That is the NURT, National Union of Road Transport Workers.
Okay. How do they come in, or how?
Absolutely,
what are
how
their
do they come in?
expectations?
They transport us from AXYZ, from different towns, cities to another. If there's a situational awareness in the vehicle or in their vehicles, what happens?
Like the one chance.
The one chance, somebody having difficulties in breathing again, who's going to help? I have seen a case like that. You know, it was actually, it trended for a long time on Instagram about somebody having a seizure and nobody knows what to do. They don't really know what to do. And at the end of the day, after a while, this certain individual, you know, passed on.
Wow.
Why? No situational awareness, understanding about what to really do, how to do it, how to perform CPR, or how to even put the person in a recovery position in this uncompromising way, where in a public vehicle. Driver, no idea. Passengers, no idea. So who do you put the blame on this time around? So again, it has to go back to the federal government, the state government, the national orientation body, the Minister of Health. We all have a part, you know, we all have a play role in surviving and in making sure that people survive all this kind of situation.
So let's talk about individuals. What are some effective ways to protect yourself or oneself from stalking or harassment? And then how do you produce evidence in case there is a legal action?
Thank you for that question. And let me put it to you guys this way. Number one, I think years ago, maybe some few years ago, maybe a year or 2 years ago, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu came up with the idea of body-worn camera for LASMA, Civil Defense Corps, and some other officers. But today, just do your survey. You can't see them again. Do you even have people, security patrol officers, you know, walking the beats? Do we even have beats at all? Let alone who is watching over us? We do not have all this. So it's back again to what you mentioned, stalking. When someone is stalking you, the question is, that means the whole area is actually porous. When someone is stalking you, that simply means either you've done something wrong, or fear of the unknown is really happening. Perhaps the person might probably not stalking you. Perhaps the person is actually mentally not okay or not physically okay. And to us, someone is stalking. I'm not saying somebody can't stalk one
Exactly,
another.
because it's a possibility.
There are possibilities, but we need to have a good evidence to say, you know what, I have actually walked from here to there, and I could see your movement. I have from here to here, I could see your movement. I tried to have an emergency stop, and I could see you behind me doing the same thing. I was going on 30 kilometers speed, and I could see you doing the same thing as well. Everywhere I go, I see you in the morning, afternoon, and all the rest.
That's evidence.
That's the evidence you want to build. But you need to have something to build this evidence. Surrounding area of yours, do you have CCTV that you can actually capture around and provide or and produce all this evidence? And when analyzing all this, are the police ready to do their rigorous job that, you know what, yes, we can see evidence that things are actually done, and these are the things done. So why are you stalking this certain individual will not be the question.
Yeah, before Olumide comes in, though, how about online stalking? How do you nip that in the bud?
The online stalking is still the same thing because people can use different usernames and come up under different names, you know, to stalk you around, to bully you, and do the rest. There are criminologists that can actually do all this for you and trace all that. Even the police officers, there are departments whereby they can forensically get to the bottom of this and find out the culprit as well. The same thing happens to when your phone is actually stolen or something like that. We have cases whereby people are, you know, they steal phones and the next thing they travel miles away, forgetting the fact that they can actually trace the phone.
Yes.
And they will trace it to the last end, even to the address, to the person you last called, to the number of calls you've made and how you are pushing calls around. They can actually get all these stuff out. So the devices, the technology are there. Nigeria is ripe to that stage. The only thing now is this, just like you mentioned, supporting them, giving them the backup. Let them understand that, yes, what you're doing, we need to say thank you to you or for you or to your organization or recognize you with some sort of awards. There are so many ways you can actually say thank you to someone. Everything is not about the money. But there are ways you can recognize and, you know, they were like, yes, I feel so honored, I will do more. But are we doing all that?
Just before we go, I've been wanting to ask you this question, which made you laugh at first? Pepper spray and tasers. Do you advise one to have that, especially for ladies? You know,
Okay, this is how I'm going to say it. I will advise both, and I will not, again, advise both. Yes. I will support, and again, I will say no. Because the moment you support or the moment the government has said, yes, everybody have it, trust me, either you're a victim or not, somebody's really after you. And the next thing, they just want to show you what they call pepe. They're like, is it not you? So to me, it's a good thing to use when you're in a vulnerable situation. But if not, don't use it. However, I'm a case study myself, traffic case study, of course. I was actually, like, you know, attacked, and the next thing, I saw this guy, you know, with this local pistol straight to me, I'll mention the place, CMS Bridge.
Broad daylight.
Broad daylight. This actually happened, I think, some years ago. And this will always happen during the traffic rush hour period.
Rush hour.
How did you get out of that situation?
How did I get out? Because I've been self-training, self-defense.
What did you do?
Karate, kung fu.
Yeah. So
no, well, basically, you know, this is me in the car sitting, and my friend was actually the one driving.
Wow.
And all I did was, the moment I saw it, I didn't panic. He told me, put down your stuff. I mean, to, you know, wind down my side glass, and I refused to. And the next thing, he brought out this car plug, covered it with a handkerchief or something like that. And once you smash unfortified glass, it will definitely break. Instantly it will break, because the moment there's a crack in the sun, everything is hot, it will definitely break. And the quick thing I was able to do was just to pull my seat completely flat down. So the bullet went straight.
Oh,
Yes, and hit the speedometer and everything, because I knew very well that this is a local pistol with just only one bullet inside it. So the next thing, I came out, ran after him. People were watching. It was like a movie anyway. And the next thing, the guy jumped from my side of the road to the next side. There was this Okada guy waiting. Oh, yeah. So my advice is this. They actually walk around to look for easy prey.
Easy prey.
And what made me a target that day, I was actually on the phone. So will I tell people not to use their phone in their car again? The answer to that is no. But what are the security measures that we need to put in place? Allow last man, security officers, when there are traffics like this, allow them to patrol around traffic areas. When you see people begging along this area, tell them to move away. There might be people potentially looking for how to endanger our lives or, attack or harm someone. If we're even still thinking about that, what about acid? What about, you've just poured the acid? A lot of things can actually happen. So it takes me back again to, do we have all these medical things around our roadsides that can actually help and support us? Even if you can't put it on the roadside, our security officers, our traffic wardens, do they have the grab bag, the medical first aid kits with them in case situation like this always, will happen or not?
I wish we had more time, but we've really exhausted our time. It's an eye-opener. It's interesting. So many things that actually I've learned, and I know our viewers have also learned. But thank you very much, Oluwafemi Aratokun-Ale.
Thank you so much for having me.
And definitely we would still we'll take you up on this particular topic next time to have a full, a broader mindset of what is really happening. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nigerians, for having me.